You're not here to see me. Go look at the car. This is what people want. Take a loving, lingering glance at the 2020 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. After decades of speculation spurred by various GM concept cars, the C8 Corvette is the first to sport an engine aft of the cabin. While gawking at its sweet mid-engine style, here's a cavalcade of C8 facts. That mid-mounted engine is a 6.2-liter LT2 V8, that's naturally aspirated by the way, rated at 495 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. If those numbers seem underwhelming, just know that more powerful variants will be coming, and even with this power, with the Z51 performance package, the C8 will scream from motionless to 60 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. That puts the C8 at quickness parity with the Ford GT, actually, a car with notably more power and a notably higher price tag. Speaking of price, exact details haven't been revealed, but GM President Mark Royce declared a starting MSRP under $60,000. No, really, that blows my mind, especially given the current car's $56,000 base price. No joke, the C8 Corvette is arguably the best performance bargain on the planet. One big change for the C8 is the transmission. It's now a dual clutch across the board. On one hand, paddles are less engaging than a proper shifter. On the other hand, I'll never have to deal with that weird 1-4 shift interlock when driving my Corvette slowly. Regarding the exterior, you don't need a ton of commentary to know what you think about it, but I will note that Chevy has done an admirable job creating a car with exotic mid-engine proportions that still looks very much like a Corvette. It's assertive, yet tasteful, kind of like a fine wine. And much like a fine wine, it's recommendable you pop the top on your C8. God, I love a removable roof panel. By the way, if you're wondering, the door handles are hidden cleverly underneath the intake trim. This would open the door if it wasn't already open. Slide past the exterior and you're confronted with an interior that takes the driver-focused concept to a radical new extreme. Feast your eyes, friends. This space has some serious positives, but it's also going to spawn a deluge of controversy, in particular this single narrow strip of buttons next to the driver. Oh boy. All right, I managed to squeeze my way into the Corvette. That guy was 6'5" and he had headroom issues. This is where it pays to be perfectly average. At 5'10", I've got crazy legroom and plenty of headspace. This situation right here with the stream of buttons, I predicted I might dislike this when I saw the pictures of it. I dislike this now that I'm touching it right here. But material quality is one of the other things that's really big with the Corvette. You know, sometimes it's a little bit dicey, and as I'm touching around here, everything's feeling pretty soft. Yeah, man, this has an exotic feel. Oh, and the other thing, the steering wheel, I was a little bit concerned by this sort of square motif. I feel like I need to slide this thing forward just a little bit to really get a proper read on it. You can hold it at a proper 9 3, and because it's square, you have an unimpeded view of the gauge cluster. I hated this in pictures. I don't hate it in person. You can leave me with the car now, Kelly. As mentioned earlier, there's a Z51 performance package. With it, buyers enjoy stickier tires, a louder exhaust, improved engine cooling, upgraded brakes, enhanced aerodynamics for better downforce, and an electronic limited slip differential. Other notable features include 3 seat options, 12 exterior colors, a rear camera mirror that should mitigate dicey mid-engine visibility issues, and a front lift system that raises the nose 2 inches, doing so automatically at up to 1,000 driver-selectable GPS memory locations. So cool. One thing I find amazing is that all of the traits that people are really familiar with the traditional Corvette, when they move to the mid-engine, it's retained all that stuff. Come check out the cargo space. There's enough room in here for a big golf bag, and when you take the roof panel off, it sits right back here, and there's also a supplemental trunk in the front. So this is a very practical, cruisable, tourable Corvette still. It just happens to have that mid-engine layout and all that exoticness. Very cool. Looking at the competitive set, it includes high-performance luminaries like the Porsche 911, Audi R8, Mercedes-AMG GT, Acura NSX, and Nissan GT-R. Lovely cars all, but not necessarily quicker than the C8, and certainly more expensive. There are many ways to go fast, but the Chevrolet Corvette has value, history, and performance on its side. When you add mid-engine exoticness to that equation, the future's only looking brighter for the Vette. Look at that vet! Behind all those people.